All right, welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Ola, coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Welcome back to Sharp Edge News TV. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, hit the follow everywhere. Help us share with the rest of the world. Without any further ado, we have the editor-in-chief, the publisher, SharpEdgeNews.com. We have High Chief Oladimeji Abitogun. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Ola, for bringing me back. And let me say that it's a happy moment for all of us, right at SharpEdgeNews.com. Whether in the studios in New Jersey, here in Kansas City, everywhere in the world. And to you, our audience, it's always a delight to have you. It's always a thing of pride to see that you continue to encourage us to subscribe, to make sure that we come to every desirous home every week. So we do not take all this for granted. And all I can say is that we appreciate you. Thank you again for keeping this regular time with us. Your weekly tonic. Something so graciously different from what you find in any other media outlet, whether drive-by or mainstream. We simply are who we are, peculiar, unique, incomparable, unbeatable. We thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I'm sure you have some special for us this week, and I'm just gonna allow you to take the floor and bring us up to speed with this week on the weekly Sharp Edge News Special Report, sir.
Oh, thank you very much, Ola. Let's make this so decisive, and let me paraphrase what the then leader of America said when the man that was a constant and persistent pain in the rear end of the global system was caught in Baghdad. The man of history at that point in time was George W. Bush. That is the second of the Bush family household to become president of the United States of America. So when the man that was orchestrating and doing all sorts in Baghdad was caught, he said, we caught him. We got him. And this is what I want to say at this moment to the people of Ayede Kingdom, Akure North, Ondo State, Nigeria, that we have been able to unmask the hand that had been so steady in encouraging Olori Olufunminejo Oluyede to insult, denigrate, desecrate, and commit untold breaches against the tradition and royalty of the Ayede Kingdom. We were able to unmask this individual last Saturday. I do not want to dignify this person, this personality, but it's already known to the entire world. And I've left him some pleasant notes, voice notes that he can deal with, digest for the rest of his life. That is, if he has any conscience. And to the Amakwetu of mine, who also came. I don't know what he came to Ayede to do. They call him a first-class king. But now, we must see him for who he is. a front row imperial majesty, imperialist. And when they glamorize with this highfalutin description and title, which they are so desirous to own all over Yoruba land today. Imperial majesty this, imperial majesty that. Nonsense. Imperialism simply means unbridled greed. You stay in your kingdom and then you want to control the resources of other climes, other lands, and then it is nothing other than a form of stealing. And for all these small kingdoms calling themselves empires, I do not see the empire, because you want to describe what an empire is, you'll be looking at old Great Britain, its influence from America to Australia, everywhere. That is indeed an empire. You may think of the empire of old, Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and so on and so forth. But to describe a land area that is no more than maybe 16 kilometers radius as empire, I laugh. And so the Amakpetu came to Ayede Ogbese and came in support of what is a charade, what is a nullity, a good for nothing declaration. And you also saw disgraced, discredited, and suspended Lisa handing over staff of office, usurping the place of Governor Ayedatiwa, who himself was mobilizing that every member of his cabinet should go to Ayede Ogbese. So we find him. He's the one that is hiding behind the scene, troubling our people. But I'm not going to dissipate too much energy on this development, on this discovery, other than to say that we will not forget. Ayedatiwa was the one who abused the elevated office of being the governor of Ondo State to mobilize soldiers to go to Ayede Ogbese, to go and do exactly what? Mobilize Amotekun to go to Ayede Ogbese, to do what? Mobilize the police. The police that they cannot command as governors when it comes to crucial moments in Nigeria, to curtail insecurity and all that. They send them to Ayede Ogbese to go and commit heinous crimes, possibly to shed blood. But there was no blood to be shed. Ayede Ogbese people were smarter than Lucky Orimiso Ayedatiwa. Ayede Ogbese people showed the stuff they are made of. Ofirikoko, Orifo, Ajagomi, you know, they simply sat in their house. No chief attended the so-called absurdity that they called installation of a regent. They have been touting big titles, US-based medical doctor, and so what? And so what? What does it translate into? US-based medical doctor Adefunto Oluyede Campbell understands nothing about the culture. This lady was not even shown to the public when the father ascended the throne. That is a prerequisite for becoming a latter regent. She was not there when the father was coronated. She was not made to climb Okitiomolore. She was not at Okpekilin with the father. So the requisite rights were not done. So she's not qualified. Forget the fact that, she's the first daughter. And so what? And then when you look at the approved declaration on how to come on the throne of Ayede Ogbese, to manage the transition and all that, it has to be jointly done by Lisa Odokwetu and Elemo. But the Jankara, the black market ruling from Justice Oluyemi Akinton Osadebe, whose father had hypocritically written on the place of traditional institutions. And by the way, the king of Idore recently passed on. some princes and princesses gathered together, contributed about 50 million naira, allegedly, to compromise the chiefs so that the departed Owa Aroloye of Idonre would not be buried in the designated ancestral place on the top of the mountain, the ancient mountain where the Idonre people originally cradled. The chiefs refused. Oluyemi Akintosadebe could not rule that the Oloris and the princes could arrogantly and defiantly take away their father to be buried wherever it pleased them. But she hypocritically, double standard, ruled that could happen in Ayede Ogbese. All these things were orchestrated. It means when they say nobody trusts Nigeria, look at the incident of the breaches in the contract in the relationship between a Chinese company and Ogun State. It has led to major embarrassment for Nigeria because Nigeria presidential fleet is now on hold in far away France. Because nobody could trust the quality of judgment. This had been adjudged before. The Chinese company was found guilty in Nigeria, pronounced ineligible for compensation from Ogun State government. But when they moved to the international arena, they got the justice they deserved. They deserved. You won't get that in Nigeria, which is why we have always suspected the hand behind the ruling by Oluyemi Akintosadebe. She did all that with the elections in the election petition tribunals. She gained that notoriety. And how we discovered how she got exposed was when she made the pronouns descending to the arena in the law court saying, "Oh, Ajakolosi Okwokwe now, let her go and bury her husband." As if that is the tradition. And they orchestrated this campaign against us, against our kingdom, that, traditional harmful practices are being perpetrated against Olori Olufumi Oluede. It is not true. We take care of our wives in Ayede Ogbese, but this wife became so arrogant, got swollen-headed, got so Jezebelian, and then started getting all kinds of people to invade our community, sent Aya killers after me. I am here now, I'm in America. Let her come and send Aya killers after me. But even they couldn't kill the spirit in our community. I want to salute the sagacity and the courage, the convictions of the chiefs, the princes and princesses of Oluyede family, the chiefs of Ayede Ogbese, the young and old men, women who have stood to dare this woman. Nobody attended the so-called installation of this illegitimate regent. And by the way, we find out that no approval was given. They wrote, Lisa plagiarized copies of the dummies, the copies of letters that I copied him in the past, because he doesn't have the intellectual capacity to compose a single line of correspondence to anybody. I challenge him. Is it when he speaks is worn out phrase of custodizing? We will custodize this. That is, we want to take custody of something. Yes, it's good English, but it's hard for anybody to say. And then he was the only person. And did you see him, by the way, performing that innocuous and unapproved? Because he's suspended. It's illegitimate. He wasn't wearing his hat. So it descended into a form of servitude and subservience before them. It's not Lisa. It's a kind of Sakwetu. No, not. I respect you, Sakwetu of Ijare. You know you are number 2 in Ijare. But this one, Sakwetu, in our community, is a parody for something else. I Chief Sakwetu of Ijare, I salute you. I Chief Wenimo, erudite lawyer, not people like you. But this Lisa became like a captured, a subdued, rain-beaten chicken. Removed his hat and then placed staff of office in the hand of his so-called regent. That is his own regent. And the only person that went with him is this guy that has been accused of, suspected of committing murder in Kogi State, a fugitive who also coveted revenue and resources from the farms belonging to the late Kanonjide Fagboyegu, or Noja, the one they call Chief Oloro. There were the 2 people there. All the other chiefs boycotted in solidarity with our community, with the royal family. So long live Ayede Ogbese, long live everybody. We found out that Olori Olufumi Nejo Oluyede and our children who went to Mahi and Eseldo to bring people who state territorial invasion, invaders. You know who they are in history now. Always dressing like masquerade to invade Ife until they were beaten back by Moremi. You remember the story in the history of Yoruba. But more than that, what Lucky Ayedatiwa or Lucky Orimiso Ayedatiwa has done, because he thought we would confront the soldiers, then we will be mauled and will be killed. No, we are not dummies. We are smart people in Ayede Ogbese. And that is why we are different. We are still in court. And then he did all this. It was the governor, even when members of his cabinet told him, the community said the government should stay away from this, cannot come. And they didn't want to come. He started coercing them into coming.
Did you say rain-beating chicken?
Rain-beating chicken, subdued. That is you would see it in him. It's all about
Sarah to Natu in the chat.
Yeah, that is Lisa. That is Lisa. Lisa. That is the way he appeared. He was the one who did this single-handedly. You remember I said this is a guy that will kill a whole elephant and eat it up because he's a glutton. That is what the Olori calls him. Wobia, Wobiliki, Onijekuje. And they all went there. There was no indigene of Ayede Ogbese that attended that event. None, other than those that were deceived. And it was okay. I mean, the Olori, she would now reign, but she cannot even reign in peace. And she will be resisted. I understand that Tunji Aladeokin, all of them. Tunji Aladeokin deceived himself. First appeared in Ayede Ogbese that morning with a t-shirt and later changed it to.
So Chief, let me get this straight. They now have a newly installed.
No, she's illegitimate because I have first-hand. I'm an investigative news reporter. I have first-hand confirmation that the commissioner for chieftaincy and local government affairs did not sign any approval for them to do it. And even if he did, so long she was not nominated and not approved by the Council of Chiefs, that is where power resides in the community. She is a nullity. The whole thing is.
When you say she, you're talking about this medical doctor from the United States.
Yes, it's always the first daughter that will do this, but she did not go through the processes. And the disqualifying final punch is this: by the declaration which a new king can be installed, when it is 3 months after the king has passed on into the land of the ancestors, the kingmakers must write the government, it is time to make a new king. Our father passed on December 29, 2023. Nobody started the remains.
Let me ask you a question, Chief.
Yeah, but let me land, please.
Finish that, yes.
The 3 months has gone. It's elapsed. What we are prepared to have is our new king. Let the royal family nominate people, but they know what they want to do. I told the entire world before. That's why the Olori sent higher killers after me. They were touting their son, Adetunbi Oluyede, as heir apparent. There is nothing called heir apparent in that declaration. You must bring every male child in the family. You must submit them before us, the kingmakers. Then we will compile, we will vet, we will consider and recommend to the government. Those are the 4 stages that must take place. In this case, now that they know that Ayedatiwa is their person. And by the way, Olufumi Nejo Oluyede was one of those who teamed up with Betty Akeredolu, Anyanwu Akeredolu, to torment Lucky Orimiso Ayedatiwa. Make sure, they were stonewalling him. They didn't want him to come into office after Akeredolu had become incapacitated and when later he died. But the teeming majority of Ondo State people said justice must be done. Look at the way Lucky Orimiso Ayedatiwa, the new governor now, the way he's paying the poor masses back. Exactly what they did to him by Doyin Odebowale and all these stupid people with Babajide Akeredolu. That is what he is doing to Ayede Ogbese community. He is shortchanging due process, and rule of law. And that declaration on the filling of the vacant chieftaincies too is part of the body of laws of Ondo State. But I mean, we're talking of Nigeria, anything goes. This guy has violated his oath of office. But you know, me, I don't like confronting people that are elected into office. I will leave him to posterity. The only thing I have to say is that we will not forget this. And I want to thank people like Abia Olufalaye. I want to thank people like Baba, Ruben, Famuyide Fashionti, elders of our land. You know, Baba Fashionti is part of Ayede Ogbese, is part of Fusho. They all are rallying support for the people of Ayede Ogbese. I want to thank the Deji of Akure. I want to thank the principled and committed members of Orimiso Ayedatiwa's cabinet in Ondo State. They saw what he is doing. They tried to caution him, but he wants to be a tyrant, not a Democrat. Good luck to him. We wish him well. In fact, we can also, as joyous warriors, Ayede Ogbese people are saying, long may you reign, Imperial Governor, King, Lucky, Orimiso Ayedatiwa. Our report. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll leave
your
my question alone. No, I'll leave it alone.
Please, I'd love to answer your question, please. Please.
I forgot the question actually, but we're 22 minutes into the show. I just want to make sure that we don't. I'm trying to see if I can remember. Okay. Yes, I remember now. Okay, good. What would have made her? And I'm talking about the young lady, medical doctor from the United States. What would have made her legitimate?
What would have made her legitimate?
As a regent?
Would have been, yes, ab initio, would have been for them to have passed through the proper channel, observe the proper royal protocol in breaking the news of the passing of the king to the community. That was not done. There was something to hide about the ways and manners in which the king was handled in his last days before he passed on. That is number one observation. Number two, I do not want to say too much on the air. If Ondo State House of Assembly wants to hold a open hearing, I will come to Ondo State with full, if there is guarantee, whether they guarantee my security or not, I'll talk to the US government to give me protection, because this is massive failure of sovereignty, of statesmanship on the part of the administration in Ondo State. So I would state all I know about the circumstance of the death, including the conspiracy from both Lisa and this Olori that led to the untimely pass. You know, the late king has a mother, and womanhood, abiyamaye, abiyamorun, oriwama berelowo, they would get justice on behalf of the departed king on why he had to go when it was not yet his time. They are touting the hand of cancer, art procedure, this and that. Nonsense. This queen consort, this Olori, was always threatening to show Shima Piney.
Jesus.
Yes. They can call the cabinets kings. This Olori is not nice to domestic staff, everybody. So whatever I was doing was not hidden. And we knew, we were monitoring her. Yaonishu, all of them colluding with this woman, including the church. Very disgraceful. The piece of land where St. David's Cathedral sits today was donated to the Anglican Communion by my great grandfather, Olajuigbe, the father of Baba David Olajuigbe, the then Ashamo of Ayede Ogbese. His father gave that land through the plea of late Oba Funbiowo. So I have illustrious ancestry, whether from Abitogun side or from Olajuigbe side or from Fagbamigbe side. I'm not an unknown quantity. And when we take on people like this, it's because we know them. But good luck to Lucky Orimiso Ayedatiwa. He is the king, the imperial governor, the king governor, all titles you want to give to him. Not to run there saying regent, doctor, this and that. Nonsense. These are people who do not live for any quality thing impacting the world. Look at what is going on in America today, at the moment, how people are being celebrated for contributing in worthy manner and form, shape to the evolution of a new world order, to contributing and consolidating on the nationhood of America. When would this be said about us in Nigeria? We destroy everything that is a mark of our own identity, and then we parade vulgarity and all kinds of stupidity, saying this is where power lies. Who told you? Power lies ultimately with the people, and the people have rejected these folks, but they are forcing themselves on us. So thank you to people of Ogbese. I would always celebrate you guys if I'm a blind man. I'm not supposed to be rich, but whatever I'm able to save up, I will commit to our struggle. That is, all of us must have education, must be exposed, and we cannot serve as slaves. Did you see the way they gave uniform on some people wearing white apparel? Those are parallel slaves. In this time and age, they are nursing and nurturing slaves.
Okay.
What a disgrace. What a shame.
All right. So, unfortunately, the Ayede Ogbese Royal Rumble continues. Weekly Sharp Edge News special report. Hi, Chief Oladimeji Apitogun. Thank you, everybody. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Shout out to Natu in the chat. I see you, Natu. Shout out to Natu. And shout out to Ego Ventures. Shout out to you. I see.
Shout out to Ego Ventures.
Elizabeth Omotayo. Miss Elizabeth Omotayo. Thank you.
Omotayo.
All right. So thank you so much. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. And we have some additional trendy topics that we should talk about. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about Peter Obi. Peter Obi speaks out on shocking WAEC poor results. Are you up to speed with this news? Can you tell us what's going on, or you want me to read the report?
Please read the part of the report. I was monitoring, but let's situate it properly.
All right, great. According to a report on Daily Post NG, the 2023 Labour Party LP presidential candidate Peter Obi has blamed mass failure of students in the West Africa Examination Council WAEC on poor funding of the education sector. Obi said the 2024 WAEC results, which showed a 7.69% decrease in Nigerian student performance, confirms the worrying lack of investment in the critical areas of development in the country. The former Anambra State governor disclosed this in a statement he issued on Monday, and I quote, "The recent announcement by the WAEC that recorded 7.69% decrease in the performance of candidates who sat for the 2024 WASSCE in Nigeria reaffirms the worrying lack of investment in the critical areas of development, education, health, and pulling people out of poverty." Let me finish this quote right here.
Right.
"This constant decline in our educational performance and other critical areas demands urgent attention and action. With our claimed literacy rate of over 50%, we're still ranked 187 on the global scale of literacy." So go ahead and speak to that.
Yes, let me commend the determination of somebody like Peter Obi, his forthrightness in speaking out at every opportune occasion against the noted weaknesses within the Nigerian system, whether socially, politically, and in other ramifications. Honestly, I find in Peter Obi that kind of spirit that would only be found in Obafemi Awolowo. You see, he does this analysis, he watches, he knows when to punch to take on topical issues of the day. And the risk of, because each time he speaks, they're always blaming him and calling him names, calling him out that he's a sore loser. Oh, this is coming because of the fact that he lost in a fair contest. But who is describing, who is scoring the contest with Tinubu and others has been fair. So in this instance, that's why I'm commenting it. I have paid close attention. You know, I was a leading correspondent on education when I was in mainstream journalism practice in Nigeria. And past education ministers who are still alive will testify to this, particularly Professor Tunde Adeniro. He's a former senior assistant. Would also testify to that fact. So the point I'm making is this: I have paid close attention, and as somebody who also have a degree in English education, that ordinarily would be a place of focus for me, because I want the very best for Nigeria. And I've been an international, of course you know this, I've been a recruiter for reputable universities, getting international students for them, and arranging exchange programs for schools in Nigeria with American universities. My passion is to make sure that we elevate the Nigerian education system. It was good, it was really great. If you saw magazines, journals that were produced, published by Nigerian high school students or grammar school students in the 60s and early 70s. I was not yet born in the 60s, but I had copies of magazines that were kept in our family library or archive. I mean, publications from schools attended by your own father, who was 17, who is 17 years older than me. Publications from Imade College, Oyemeku Grammar School, King's College, Ondo Boys, and all that. When you read through those things, you will know what education was in Nigeria. Today, you cannot say that about the quality of education in our land of birth. What this translates into is this: with the current administration in Nigeria, and please, nobody should politicize this, because they would say, he has fundamental disagreement with Aiyedatiwa. No, I have no fundamental disagreement with Aiyedatiwa on anything, other than I'm not happy with the way he handled the crisis or the avoidable crisis in Aiyedatiwa, period. But talking about national development now, serious issue, I have paid close attention to the defunding of education and other critical sectors in Nigeria. But everything is not about money. How about the attitude of individual students? I can proudly report that when I first wrote West African School Certificate Examination, 1985-1986, my performance was so bad. In fact, I remember Basharun Banjo Abitogun at our family meeting where my report card was debated or was considered in the family, saying, oh, he did so well. The result was only spoiled by 2 passes and 1 credit. The other one's parallel F. And that was a sad moment for me, sobering period for me. You know what? There is no shame about attempting and failing. I got back up, put myself, I was already given admission to do advanced level at Federal School of Art and Science Zone, though. I couldn't join with the likes of my elder, my big brother, who has now become the deputy chief medical director of Federal Medical Center, or Dr. Olabisi Fashoranti. I couldn't go ahead with my good niece, and who I consider my twin sister, Ifejobi Abitogun. I had to bury my pride, my shame, bury my head in shame, and I went back to the same school where I wrote that exam that I flunked initially. I sat back 86, 87, when, I came out better and I had the best result. But in the circumstance, nobody wants to go through that process today. Parents shamelessly shop for miracle centers for prospective candidates to, to shortchange the system. So there must be self-accountability, number one. It's not just about the government now, but the government particularly has made it so difficult to have quality. I'm not talking of quantitative, I'm not talking of numbers or what have you. Qualitative education. That said, what Peter Obi said is both true and at the same time not totally true. How about self-accountability? Like I told you, today, you see the quality of English I speak? I wasn't this good at the time. And everybody wants to go to private institution in Nigeria, private schools. That is a mark of systemic failure within the system. What is wrong with public school? I attended a public school, St. Andrews Anglican Primary School, Ayede Ogbese, rural community. And others went there. Dr. Bisi Fashoranti attended that school. Your father, who is an acclaimed artist, attended that school. So many other schools like that. But you find reversals. Apart, those states today, apart from Aquinas College, Oyemeku Grammar School, St. Louis Girls Grammar School, Tiwashaye, even Victory College, Ikare Akoko, and Ondo Boys High School, they may not really give the attraction they used to have for our people. So under the watchful eyes of our politicians, Nigeria continues to be in decline, whether in terms of values or in terms of qualitative delivery on the public good, infrastructures, social amenities, and everything. So this is my candid observation. There must be personal accountability about this as well. There must be personal. When I remember the name of this guy now. He came as external candidate to enroll with us in Ayede Ogbese 85, 86. We never knew of anything called examination cheating, or leaks, and what have you. Expo. This guy came and got a mercenary to sit in for him. He was exposed, and he escaped into the bush. Today, I've never cited him, never heard from him. When I got to the university in Ado-Ekiti and I saw people escaping from examination halls to go do all kinds of stuff. Of course, some of us did not get first class or second class upper, but we are proud of whatever we were able to make. And we are able to defend our own turf. I saw an advert that came out from NNPCL the other day saying second class upper division are the ones that must be that must apply for job openings. I just laughed. How did they end? Did they actually end the 2-1? Did they actually end the first class? America will not do that. You said?
The way we set up benchmarks for this thing in Nigeria is all faulty. So
it's laughable. And you see, people should make first class getting pass and third class because they can't pay the cost of erecting a house or fixing what's it called, sliding glasses or whatever in the house of a lecturer that is under construction. The women who will not compromise their womanhood, that would protect their pride as women, will not get good grades. So now we are lamenting. There must first be personal accountability. This is what I said to Mr. Peter Obi. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, let us know your thoughts about that. Education in Nigeria, WAEC, is that still a thing? Even when I saw the news, I was like, oh, they still do WAEC, because last time I checked, they said they were doing NADECO.
No, not NADECO, NECO.
Oh, NECO.
Yes.
I said NADECO. NECO, they said they are doing NECO and all these different types of exams.
As a long-time education reporter, the NECO thing started or was accelerated by the administration of Abubakar Abdulsalami when the late Mr. Alayaoni was education minister.
So how many placement tests exist? I mean, is WAEC considered a placement test, or is it a type of diploma?
It's a type of high school diploma, equivalent of high school diploma, ordinary level.
Okay, so it's supposed to represent that, okay, you are able to go out into the workforce and get something decent, get going as an
Yeah,
adult.
they should. You see, this is why I talk of systemic failure. How many of our high school students from, uh, I know in America from when that pupil is in what's it called? Maybe ninth, 10th grade, you can begin to get mentored, getting vacation jobs, getting integrated gradually into the system, and you can make like $14 an hour, you know, 20 maximum of 20 hours a week. That arrangement is not it's not there in Nigeria, and they are talking of um, poorly prepared university graduates and what have you. It's a broken system. It's a broken
Yeah.
system. I dare say there should be declaration of emergency in all public sectors, all facets of the Nigerian nation. You know, short of saying, I won't join those who are calling for self-abdication by Tinubu. No. From what I just learned about Tinubu, I think they say he's smart. And,
Yeah.
I want him to continue to be smart. I will say everything I know on air because now I know what is involved in some of his antics. That's all I would say.
So let's just pray for him.
Right.
All right, do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and follow so you're notified when we go live. We have a couple more trendy topics to cover today. We'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to refresh my page real quick and I'll be right back. It'll take me like a second. So stay put, stay put. All right, I'm back. So let me share this and then we can get into some other topic for the day. Let's see here. Cancel, share. Let's check this out. Listen.
For her, it wasn't just a professional oath. It was a battle cry. And let's be clear, to her opponents, this way of seeing the world, the idea of fighting for someone other than yourself is unthinkable. But let me tell you, Democrats, what's really unthinkable. Conning young people who simply want a good education is unthinkable. Stiffing hard-working laborers like Donald Trump did in Atlantic City is unthinkable. Bragging about having ripped away a woman's freedom to choose what she does with her own body is unthinkable. And Democrats, Americans, we deserve better. We deserve a president who is tough, not just tough talking. One who shatters the boundaries of what's possible, not the boundaries of...
So what we're actually watching is actually the live Democratic National Convention, day one.
In Chicago?
Yeah, going on in Chicago, yeah. So I don't think Biden has spoken yet. But we won't be able to wait for that. But there's a report here that I wanted to bring you up to speed about. I want you to speak to on Washington Post. I'm going to read a little bit and then, something about false coup claims, basically the fear tactics that seems like Donald Trump is always using. It says, from the moment Vice President Kamala Harris emerged as the surprise Democratic presidential nominee, former President Donald Trump began arguing that she was anointed through a coup rather than rather than choosing this guy.
Please. See, Donald Trump would even say that my laughter is weird, it's unusual. Anyway, please go ahead.
That she was anointed through a coup, um,
How do you announce
rather than
somebody to a coup?
rather than chosen by primary voters. After barely mentioning election integrity at the Republican convention in July, Trump is casting the upcoming election as rigged against him and baselessly labeling any order in his path as election interference. And I quote, "This was an overthrow of a president. This was an overthrow." Trump said at a rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday, referring to Harris replacing Biden on the ticket. He later added, "They deposed a president. It was a coup of a president. This was a coup." Trump's efforts to undermine confidence in this year's election are reminiscent of the tactics he used in the 2020 campaign and indicate how he could again seek to delegitimize the results if he loses, setting the stage for another combustible fight over the presidency, election, and national security, experts said. "This is Donald Trump's playbook," and I quote, "There's a deep state, they're all out to get me," said Elizabeth Newman, who served as a senior Department of Homeland Security officer during the Trump administration and is now among his conservative critics. Even here, as he's going to have a face, a stronger, harder candidate to defeat. His default is, well, this couldn't possibly be legal. This is a coup. This is wrong, even though there are no facts to back that up. Let me leave it at that. Let me let you speak to that.
Yes, thank you.
We have a
Welcome
direction.
welcome to Donald Trump's world of alternate fact, the alternative reality that was something that got foisted on the American public. And how do you begin to talk about a problem that is called Donald Trump? So where is the deposition or where is the removal of the incumbent president in all this? That a man thinks of the greater good of the majority, the greater progress of a nation, of his country, in a patriotic fashion, and says, okay, I'm listening to the vibes, I'm getting feedback, and this is not so worthy. Let me step aside, and then as I yield, let my vice, let my number two, my sidekick, I didn't say sidekick, my sidekick, let her take charge, passing on the baton that way. How can that be? I mean, this is a voluntary thing. How can that approximate to a coup d'etat? Yes, everybody is saying, oh, Nancy Pelosi orchestrated the whole thing. She's a master of this kind of fakes and what have you. It is responsible politics. You listen, you get a feedback. And since there was no traction for Joe Biden's campaign, more so, I was one of those who sat here on this same seat to say that, no, Joe Biden should give a fight. But when the facts were down, people saw that Joe Biden flunked the first presidential debate, the first face-off with Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump was spewing out all kinds of sulfuric and volcanic lies repeatedly, but he got so fluent about it, and the people got fixated on that, and people said, okay, although it was not that moment, I mean, everybody knows that President Joe Biden grew up with torturing challenges, I mean, speech impediment, serious ones, and it could not simply be bullied. You need to, I mean, people need to get familiar with his bio before they conclude that, oh, this is a coup. You see, it's about alternate facts. The same Donald Trump that find it so convenient, comfortable to demand that Russia should look for more emails from WikiLeaks and should, offload that on this country, on us Americans. It's the same Donald Trump that is now saying that no, if Iran has attacked the poorly secured internet facility of the RNC, they should not release it. And if any media organization goes there and uses it, that will be unpatriotic. But if this man find it so patriotic that Hillary Clinton should be humiliated and embarrassed the way things were in 2016. Now it is his turn. The standard has changed. What I encourage DNC, the Democratic Party, to do here is to call his bluff. They want to seize on leaks concerning his party. Whatever is going to embarrass them, they should dish it back to him. Maybe they should make it payback time. He talks of Kamala Harris being a bitch. Pardon my word. She's not a bitch. You see the real bitch here as chance upon Donald Trump. It's called karma. Karma is the bitch. And he's catching up with Donald Trump. So now that is hallucinating. If he sees a coup d'etat within no one, those of us who came from Nigeria, those of us who are from Africa, when we see a real coup, we know what a coup is. There is no coup. You know what looks like a coup? The ambush, the event, the insurrection of January 6, 2020. That is a real coup right there. And this is incomparable with what has happened. This is a smooth transition from one individual to another. A generational shift, a generational transition. That cannot be a coup. We reject any notion, any thought, any idea that approximates, that compares the smooth exchange, the smooth transition from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris. We reject such notion. So this is my take on that. And by the way, now I can say that Donald Trump says that he is the odd man here. He's just too old. So go and take a seat. And he should stop embarrassing. Yes, it's just embarrassing. It was okay when it was the confrontation between him and Joe Biden. Right now, whether around Kamala, around JD, or Tim Walz, this guy looks creepy. He's the odd one out. It's like
he's the one out.
He's creepy. He's too old to be around this park. It's weird. Don't you get it? It's just like me getting in the swimming pool with a crowd of teenagers. Yes, I'm a very good swimmer, but it will be hard. Everybody will look at me. Oh, I think this guy is a weirdo. It's just creepy right now. It does not belong on this stage. And you see the way they are closing in on him. The polls are showing. You see, among women 18 to 35, you see the gap is unimaginable. 27%. 27 points lead over him. And from that age bracket to 40, 50, 17%, how is he going to cover this deficit? They don't see what is going on. Apart from Nevada and Georgia, where he has like within margin of error, maybe 1 or 2 points lead. Elsewhere, the battle grinds, and Kamala Harris is leading everywhere. Can't you feel the fever? Can't you feel the vibe? Can't you see the joy in the atmosphere? And this is what this is about. It's a celebration all the way in Chicago this week. And that celebration has started since Kamala got on the ticket. Oh, now we see a sore loser. Sorry, Donald Trump.
All right, we shall see. We will see. Well, speaking of closing in, we're getting closed in on the whole thing right now. There's something we're still gonna have to speak to a little bit more. I'm gonna do my own research too, so we can talk about some of the policies, because I don't think anybody in their right mind is really considering Donald Trump outside of just the policies.
What policies? Even in terms of articulation of policies. Kamala is much more calm, direct. And
if you notice, you asked me a question, and it ended up being rhetorical. You didn't want an answer.
No, it's all right.
Did you want answer to the question?
Other than him arranging boxes of cereal, groceries, and making a mockery of himself in his country club cottage, I don't know what is articulating in policy. I mean, Kamala is directly addressing our issues about housing crisis in America, talking about price gouging.
I will try to create some time so I can pull up some of the policies that's fascinating to some of the Trump supporters.
You say it's
and then we can talk about it. Yeah.
What supporters? People who, you see, people of like minds with him, and those are
no. People who are literally saying Trump is not my guy. That's not a person I would look at on a normal day. But I'm looking at these policies, and it's just making more sense. Wait now for the answer.
No, just wait, please.
You said what policies? You said what policies?
I will forget. See,
okay.
Donald Trump is hollow when it comes to policies. All these people you see that are latching on to him, having traction for him, is all about his prejudices and all those shameful stuff he parades. Personal attacks, yes, personal attacks, and trying to minimize the seriousness of the moment in which, of course, the stage is not for a clown like him. It's not long, he does not belong in this race anymore. And when the elections would have been concluded, you would, again, you've been right in some of your predictions. But here, this guy, he's going to be whooped. He's going to be whooped like crazy. He's going to be whooped like a baby. You see, they will whoop him with the votes. This is what I'm saying.
So what I'm looking at, there are a couple of things that I will dig in a little bit deeper, and I will bring them so we can talk about them. I'm looking at this right now as I speak on DonaldJTrump.com under /issues. They're talking about rebuild the greatest economy in history, fair trade for the American worker, unleash energy dominance, secure borders and reclaim national sovereignty, war on the drug cartels.
As America lost his sovereignty.
Wait now.
I thought this guy is just saying trash.
Stop crime and restore safety. Renew American strength and leadership.
How does a convicted felon stop crime? How is he going to do it?
Wait. Reject globalism and embrace patriotism. Care for our veterans. Protect parent rights. Defend law and liberty. End censorship and reclaim free speech.
A lawless man trying to defend law and
free, honest, and lawful elections. Drain the swamp of Washington corruption. Better healthcare choices at lower costs.
He should first go and destroy the Trump Hotel, right within the precinct of the White House there, where those were caught and the monuments ran wild.
So. Those are some of the issues. Which one of the issues do you want me to dig in deeper on? Then I'll read a little bit more.
Because it's so hollow. It's so shallow. He's just putting all these things up to fool those who do not know him. We already know him. It's going to be another cycle of the old same stuff. Please. All right?
So you don't want us to dig in deeper on any one of those issues?
Because we already dug deeper before.
No, I just read them out as a list.
We saw him at his best. Whatever is parading there is just a script of deception. Dance with
I think the one that you really found interesting was the stop crime and restore safety part. I think you found that one interesting.
How does the criminal do that?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. Now let me read it. Okay.
How does he do it?
Okay, so he's
talking about law and order. Somebody who led a mob to attack and kill to also kill some what's it called, Metro Police in the when they invaded the Congress. How's he going to do it?
Let me answer the question according to him. Okay.
Right.
So stop crime and restore safety. He's answering it. He won't tell me. He's answering it according to DonaldJTrump.com.
Right.
It says there's no higher priority than quickly restoring law and order and public safety in America. President Trump stands with the heroes of law enforcement. Joe Biden and the radical left politicians. Joe Biden and the radical left politicians have defunded, defamed, and dismantled police forces across America. Murders spiked to all-time highs in Democrat-run cities, and radical prosecutors and district attorneys have given free rein to violent criminals who threaten our citizens.
Please, I don't want to have mental illness. This is the please. I don't want to have mental. Yes, I don't want to have mental health failure or challenges. This guy is a liar. So please, there is no there is no statistic to back up whatever is claiming there. It's all BS. Please.
So there's no spiked up.
No. It's just.
What about the defunding? What about the defunding of the police departments?
It's not true. They won't say Democrats are loose when it comes to controlling finances and all that. And so when these things are done, are clipped, they are they just looking for people to to lead into the dish. Oh, there is too much money in circulation.
So which other one would you like me to dig in deeper into? I should leave it alone.
Let's Donald Trump is a bundle of chaos, and there is no way we can solve him as a problem or as a crisis. It's just a time bomb. That's all. Yes.
All right, I'll see if I can. I tried for all you Donald Trump supporters in our comments. I tried. We'll next week we will add a little bit more into it. Maybe you can add some more in the comment areas for us, so we can take it a little bit further. But do us a favor: hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We'll be right back.
Right. Thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah, you want to say something?
This is the guy that will complain about the immigration crisis in America. All he's doing is spew out hatred. You don't want your neighbors to be saved from crises all over the world. America is like a tower of refuge. People come here, they get protected, they get asylum and all that. He doesn't want that. And then
so should I dig in on the immigration and read it?
Just wait.
Okay.
And then there will be a proposition on bipartisan solution to the whole problem. The originating bill came from, guess what? Republicans. And Democrats in a bipartisan way cooperated. When it was supposed to pass, he called them to Mar-a-Lago just because he has to score political points or is about elections. And then he scuttled the whole thing. Is that leadership?
We can all agree that this is all a game for Donald Trump.
Yes, he says, this is the way to go. Try that with pill. You find out that it's suicidal. And this is the same man that will tell you, please, right now, America is in decline. Is this and that. And attacking, he calls it globalism. I don't know what globalism is.
Yes, reject globalism.
What is that?
That we should go back to our countries.
He wants America to shrink.
Yes, we should go back to our countries.
He has his own warped vision, skewed vision about the whole thing. His own response to that is to embrace despots and tyrants like Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Chinese strongmen. That is his own alternative. He's been tried and found wanting. He's been tried and found wanting. That is my verdict on him. And I'm not talking with magisterial finality. The people should weigh him on the scale. And they will find out that he deserves to be given a kick in the butt.
Anyway, all right. I will be right back. Leave your comments, leave your questions, leave your contributions in the comment. Thank you so much, Chief. Let's move on. Let's. All right, welcome back. Bold claim: Alex Otti will be the last LP governor, Labour Party governor of Abia State, KALU. So there's this. There's a quick. Let me cover this on PM News. There's a quick report here. It said the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has praised the performance of Alex Otti in Abia State, but maintains that he will be the last Labour Party governor for the state. Kalu will represent the Bende Federal. Is it Bend or Bende? Federal
Bende.
Constituency.
Bende
Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives said the people of Abia would vote the All Progressive Congress APC to repay President Bola Tinubu, who he said was working hard. He said this will be the last time that a Labour governor will govern Abia State. I say it without mincing words. The next governor of Abia State will be the APC governor. And I quote, I have told him publicly and privately that the APC governor will be the next Abia State. How it will happen, I don't know, but it will happen. I am confident because my government is working hard. The president is working hard. A president that is appointing Abians into administration, a president who is attracting the dividends of democracy will be repaid. We're not ungrateful people. Monkey will not work and bamboo chop. APC will not help the state to be strong and Labour will take the credit. Kalu said it was not proper that another party would be governing the state while he is the sixth citizen of the country. He said, we are friends, we work together. So, sounds like he's talking about stomach infrastructure here.
Well, this is bigger than stomach infrastructure. This is the flowery language of ambitious politicians and megalomaniacs. Because in the final analysis, Benjamin Kalu seems to have forgotten that he has just one vote. And he thinks he can do it alone. Yes, you see parochialism on parade right there. Narrow-mindedness. Oh, he has given appointments to people in Abia State. Abia State, in the final analysis, is just 1 upon 36 plus the FCT. So is Abia State able to deliver on this alone? Is Benjamin Kalu reading the same news circle within the same echo chamber that we operate within? Has he not heard the concern of the governor of Bauchi? Has he not heard of the speculative and investigative news report this morning, this day, that Goodluck Jonathan may be drafted to come into the race that should...
Sorry, Chief. I know you wouldn't mind me doing this.
Right.
Let me interrupt the transmission. Kamala Harris just came on stage, so we can listen a little bit.
Maybe to introduce Joe Biden.
Yeah, maybe, but let's see. Right?
Yes.
All right. Can you hear it?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
And I'm watching in the studio here.
I want to kick us off by celebrating our incredible President Joe Biden,
I told you.
who will be speaking later tonight. Joe, thank you for your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you. Thank you, Joe.
They just showed the husband.
And looking out,
Yeah, the second
looking
gentleman.
out at everyone
Yes.
tonight, I see the beauty of our great nation. People from every corner of our country and every walk of life are here, united by our shared vision for the future of our country. And this November, we will come together and declare with one voice, as one people, we are moving forward. optimism, hope, and faith, so guided by our love of country, knowing we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Let us fight for the ideals we hold dear, and let us always remember, when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
All right, Madam Vice President.
That's right.
All right, let's get back to. Sorry, I know you would want us to interrupt with that, so
Yeah,
that's fine.
it's all right.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, so as we not had, as Benjamin Kalu not had, that Jonathan Goodluck Ebele Jonathan may be drafted by the North to run, although the North also
saw
may be
that.
yeah, the North itself may be accused of suffering a kind of illusion of grandeur because there is no monolithic North anymore. So different, yeah, Bende people may say, oh, they love Bola Tinubu, and here we are not even castigated because politics is over. Like I told you, there are stuff that I now know about Bola Tinubu that is making me to concede for the first time that this guy may be a very smart, probably the smartest politician ever since the time of Zik, Awolowo, and Sardauna.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, things that I know now. I'm telling you that I did not know about Bola Tinubu before, and thank God that I was able to meet a couple that is visiting from from Nigeria that are currently visiting Nigeria. They did not vote for, they are currently visiting United States of America. They did not vote for Bola Tinubu, but from what I heard from them, I'm beginning to look at Bola Tinubu as a very smart bloke. So that said, no single individual can say because of his own wave of excitement, I can't call it political orgasm, but iCloud for the moment say, oh, because of this situation, what I feel about what Bola Tinubu has done for me, my people, Bende people, and there are other clans or Ohafia people, there are other sub-Igbo ethnic groups in Abia State. They will feel differently. The Arochukus, the Abribas, they will feel differently about the events of today in Nigeria. So it is arrogant, it is garrulous.
So they're delusional, basically.
Simple for Benjamin Kalu to have taken that position. You know, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Yes, the North is pushing back seriously. They even regret their so-called Muslim ticket. And I was told Tinubu played that card and got them lured into loving him. Now that things are happening, they don't seem to
now they have to pay
with him anymore. You said?
I said now they have to pay.
That's it. So Nigeria is happening to everybody.
I'm curious now. I would like to know what you know, but I guess that's going to be another
off camera.
Yeah.
I will tell you off camera. Of course, you know, we are a family. But honestly, this guy, from what I was told, he is probably the smartest Nigerian politician alive.
Okay.
I mean, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I kind of knew about the when I now think about the idea that you're saying smartest politician, I kind of already felt that way. I thought you were saying just smartest, like overall leader, not just politician.
He's so cunning, and he operates with.
He knows what he's doing anyway.
Yeah, with some deft moves. You know, he's so swift. You take him for a fool. Honestly, you may end up regretting that kind of thought process. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Right on time, actually. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notification. We are just about 200 views away from 34,000 views since we started this about 8 months ago. So we're working.
And this is all organic.
All organic. So help us continue to hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications, tell your friends, and your friends. Tell them that we are giving some raw, organic analysis of what's going on between Nigeria and the United States politics here. So thank you. We just want to appreciate you. Any last word for today, sir?
No, other than the fact that we must commit to the cause of truth, courage, and strong convictions. Don't let anybody tell you that because they are from small town, or you are from a small community, or that because of your race, that you really do not belong in the global family. No, you are significant. Look at the way successive political leaders have always ignored Ayede Ogbese Kingdom because of what every individual in that community has been able to do in the last 8-9 months. The world noticed us. Even Ayede Atiwa, in his miscalculations, and we are not against him. Let that be clear. We are not against him in person, but he cannot support a fraud. That is what we are cautioning him about. And it's always good to be, because I used to love him. I didn't know him from anywhere before I mobilized people through my platform, through my contacts to say, no, he's been cheated by KALU'S. They should give him his due. Ogbe Fonfolong. At the end of the day, look at the way he has repaid us back. Now is in league with the KALU'S to mess us up in Ayede Ogbese. But you know what? The spirit that is in us is not easily quenched, and is even unquenchable. It's a consciousness. It's in our mind. And we know that we have moral victory over all the forces arrayed against us in Ayede Ogbese Kingdom. That said, I want to thank everybody in the world for being in solidarity with us in our kingdom. And this moment we shall pass. And we will not forget the way we have been treated by Lucky Orimisa Ayede Atiwa, the Amakpetu, Olori, Olufunminejo, Oluyede, who brought our people to support the shenanigans of our children, to invade the kingdom belonging to their forefathers, and how they succeeded at rubbishing themselves. And this thing would also not forget Lisa, would be most unkind to him, and that verdict belongs to posterity. As for me, I thank God I have been, and I thank my people that have been able to look all these giants in the eyes, whichever, and let them know that we have a spirit that cannot be intimidated or cowed. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week ahead.
Have a good evening, everybody. Take care. Bye now.